Is he playing straight eights or is he playing shuffled eights? And even the shuffle is up to interpretation. Okay, now he's playing 16th notes. So it's being subdivided by 16th notes rather than the triplets which we were playing earlier. Okay, so you hear that. The only thing that's changing is how he's subdividing it. Now go into the shuffle. So real subtle difference. The only thing that's being changed is how he's interpreting time on the hi-hat. So obviously just a real small thing. One element, the drums, he's got four limbs going on. But with just one element where he's placing it in the hi-hat, it's determining the whole feel of the groove, you know.
One of the things that we're talking about also is pulse. And I remember when I first started, I used to feel like as a drummer I had to keep time with one of my appendages all the time to know where I was in the music. And over time, what happens is you get it inside of you. And that's the most important place for it to be. It's not out here. It's like you were saying earlier, it's in here. This is just an expression of what's in here. So I would encourage all of you to learn how to dance. Learn how to dance your favorite music. I'd encourage you to learn to listen to as much music as you can and play along with it. Find your favorite bass player, find your favorite drummer, practice with them, practice with the music and feel every aspect, every nuance of what they play. My favorite bass player growing up was Ray Brown, and that guy had some serious pulse. And I think it got so inside of me that I think that was really one of my guiding lights in playing drums. And now it's to the point where when we do play a slow blues, I don't get lost. I don't worry about it. I'm not nervous about it like I was when I was young. I just play, and it feels good. And like Steve was saying, you could feel that pulse. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of magical, really, because even though I'm not, if I'm playing like a swing thing, you can still kind of hear it, can't you? It's there. It's magic. You know what I mean? The pulse is there. It's almost like I'm just kind of grabbing it from the universe and channeling it through my body and producing the sound on the drums. Yeah? But it's really important to have the pulse here. That's your guiding light. If you don't have the pulse, you're just going to kind of be guessing and you're not. I tell you, one of the things I noticed and I want to talk about this also today, our roles and responsibilities are not to be soloists. And I don't know, a lot of people, they see the drummers that are really amazing and they can play these amazing solos, and I think that's wonderful. But we were talking earlier, those same drummers or those same bass players know how to lay it down. They're not afraid. They can do all that other stuff, but they also are not afraid to lay it down. And you've got to key into that. That's your job. You know, that's your job, to show up to the gig, to elevate the music, to elevate the band. And it's funny, I was talking to Mike Wong. We ate lunch together today. We were talking about how the drums, being the drummer, people don't really notice me playing, right? Say I'm playing at a casual gig, right? Say we're playing a wedding gig or a bat mitzvah or something. And yeah, exactly. And we're playing along, and then nobody really notices that I'm playing until I stop. Then everybody goes, "Oh, what happened?" Something's different, right? But that's really my job. My job is not to be out in front going, hey, everybody look at me, I'm a drummer, woo, woo, woo. My job is to lift the music. My job is to inspire my other players with me. My job is to provide soothing or whatever kind of music I need for the particular occasion I'm playing. And to be listening and keying in to what my friends are playing and creating a sound that's dynamic and a sound that's bigger as a collective than it can be with the singular. So remember that in everything you do, you've got to get that pulse. That pulse is really important. So if you practice with a metronome, okay, it's not the metronome that has feel or time or groove. It's you. But you want to be clear. You want to be capable and able to. Thank you. And able to play steady time, and not get wobbly and over here and over there. You want to be steady. That's going to be your job. I'll tell you what. There are tell what Victor Wooten was saying about all the qualities of a great bass player.
Well, there is a very one of the world's greatest in my.
He may be the greatest. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe in the universe. In this solar system, bass players was in town a couple weeks ago. A guy by the name of Victor Wooten, and we had a contrabass festival, which I know some of you may have been up to, or you may have seen his concert. But he had an electric bass clinic for 3 days up there, and he said, "Okay, imagine that I'm a piano player in a band, and my bass player can't make it to the gig, and I'm looking through my Rolodex, and I want to find a bass player. Okay, what are the list of things that I want to find about the bass player? What am I looking for in the player?" And he just threw it out there to him. There was about 25 or 30 people there. And so somebody said, well, good time. Oh, yeah, okay. Groove. Yeah, that sounds great. Plays in tune. Right, okay. Sound. How does this instrument sound? Yeah, well, that's important too. Can you get along with him? Yeah, you like the person? Yeah, that's real important. Does he know a lot of songs? If he doesn't know the music, if he's got good ears, how well is he able to adapt to the situation? Yeah. So we came up with this long list, and then I said, okay, Victor, where on that list was how well he can solo? And he goes, yeah, you're right. It wasn't even on the list. But he said, I'll tell you, if I hired a bass player because he could solo, he could do all of that stuff really well first, As a bass player, 98% of what I do is just play the groove, support, whatever. And once in a while, they'll throw me a bone and I'll get to take a bass solo. But for most of the time, it's just, I'm up there to just support everybody. I do all kinds of music. I play Hawaiian music. I grew up playing rock and roll. I do a lot of jazz. I play the upright bass, which I do most of the time. But my role is not there. Nobody's hiring me to be the star. That's what the singer or the sax player or the guitar player, that's what they do. They're up front getting all the glory. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of guitar players out there, and I've been doing this a long time, but I'm still working. And it's not because I can solo, because I don't think I do that very well anyway. But my point being is serving the function, of whatever the situation happens to be, and doing that. He talked a little bit about. He was talking about the metronome and where that is, and one of the things that we're talking about up at the bass clinic. There was another bass player who plays with Diana Krall, a guy named John Clayton, and he was saying, it's good to practice with a metronome, but you know what? We all have metronomes. We have a metronome. It keeps us alive. It pulses within our bodies from the time we're born, or before we're born until we die, and that's your heart. Okay? So you can't say I haven't got good time, because you know what? You're alive. Your heart's beating. So that's one thing. If you can find the pulse of your heart, that's easy enough to do. Feel your pulse.